Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero Chapter 12. Yeah, another lame one again, guys. I'm sorry. I think it was just. I think it's honestly just because Black Clover. It's because of the Black Clover. I think it's just because of the Black Clover reviews that these have been coming out late. But with Black Clover ending next week, I want to tell you. I'm basically going to tell you that I think these are going to be coming out at a bit more of a reasonable hour after Black Clover ends, because I honestly have no intention of actually reviewing like from season 2 of Black Clover. So yeah, it's after the Black Clover anime ends. I think I'm going to be able to definitely get these reviews out at a bit more of a reasonable hour. But having said that, I will say right off the bat that this was a really weird chapter this week for me, because for starters, it was like, in terms of pacing, it was all over the place. Like, the chapter was jumping from one moment to another without much of a break in between, which I guess I should be thankful that the majority of it was centered around fighting Elsie's crew, so we weren't missing a whole lot. But yeah, there were just so many times, definitely throughout this chapter, where I was thinking, where I was double taping and trying to keep up with everything that was going on in this chapter. Like, half the time I was thinking, okay guys, can you please slow down? It's like, holy shit! Like, I genuinely wanted to. I was like, please, wait, what's going on? What like I literally had to read this chapter at least like 5 times in order to kind of at least get a grasp on at least a good half of at least a good grasp on a good like half of the shit that was going on in this chapter, in order to get that, at least in order to get a decent enough review out of it. So yeah, the pacing overall, it was, yeah, just overall a little weird this time, and I'm sure it'll slow down next week. But yeah, pacing wise, this chapter's a little off. I can't say any more than that. And I I have to give Mashima credit. He's been pretty reserved with his fan service up to this point, but I knew he couldn't hold back forever. I knew there would be a time and a moment where he would just let loose all of his signature pretty much Mashima fan service. I knew there would be a time where he let it loose, and in this chapter, we finally got it. Oh my god. Mashima, if this is what the fuck you come up with when you're being reserved, then don't even bother being reserved, dude. Just let it out. I don't... Like, if this is what he was holding back, I almost want to say he shouldn't have even held back from the get-go if he wanted to... Like, oh my god. What the fuck did I just... So, basically, the type of fan service he gave us in this chapter, which honestly is, dare I say, probably one of the most disturbing pieces of fan service he's given us so far. Like, I know Mashima's done some really creepy fan service before, but I think this is like the most disturbing I've seen. Yeah. Like, the scene of Rebecca being groped, restrained by those tentacle men, yeah, that's right, tentacle men, was just so hilariously wrong that somehow, even now, I still can't believe what the hell I just saw, or hell, what I just said. Yeah, tentacle men. I have no words. Like, maybe it's just been a while. Maybe I need to reread like, as bad as it is, maybe I need to reread Fairy Tail in order to get a idea of maybe Mashima's done something worse than this in Fairy Tail. But holy shit, Mashima, I have no words for you, dude. Like, I don't know what the hell that was, but please, if this is the kind of shit that happens when you're holding back, then don't hold back at all. I don't want something like that to happen again, or at least not to that level. At least not to that level. You can do fan service, dude. Just don't go there ever again, please. Okay, so going beyond that now, I've gone way too long on that. Luckily, there was a lot more substance to the chapter beyond that moment. Like the fact that I feel we did the fact that in terms of the chapter itself, I feel we did kind of get a bit of a starting point as to how well Weiss is going to work off Rebecca and Shiki as a member of their crew in the future. Although one thing I was disappointed by is the fact that we actually got very little focus on why Elsie has been pursuing Shiki, although maybe that was the intent, because judging from the last page, we can already surmise as to why. Like, because, yeah, let's talk about that reveal. Elsie is a machine, but also one who bears a striking resemblance to the Demon King. So, obviously there's a relation here, but the fact that Elsie says she surpassed the Demon King has me really intrigued about her past with him, and this does open the door to learn more about Shiki's adoptive grandfather, like the Demon King himself. This actually does kind of have me intrigued a little bit. Now, having said that, the setup as a whole has me kind of not necessarily worried, but interested as to how this is gonna confrontation between Shiki and Elsie is gonna play out. Because Shiki's reaction to Elsie does tell me that this may not, in fact, that this fight may not in fact be like the one with Sabir. Like, I think Shiki is actually going to struggle a little more in this fight, basically because of how frightened he is. So obviously his fright is gonna affect his concentration. In fact, I believe, actually, the more I'm thinking about it, I remember that I think there's a very small panel in which I believe Shiki actually broke one of those eggs that are littering Elsie's ship. So maybe Elsie isn't a machine and Shiki is just hallucinating. But either way, I definitely want to know how Elsie is connected to Shiki's grandfather. If I had to guess, I'd say that Shiki's grandfather, the Demon King, and Elsie are probably old enemies, and the reason why Elsie is basically tracking wants to pretty much get a hold of Shiki is that Elsie probably wants to find the Demon King and probably kill him. At least that's kind of how I'm kind of, at least that's what I can gather from this setup. Like, yeah, if they're basically if they're old enemies who have fought before, then it would make sense as to why Elsie would want Shiki, because Shiki has a connection to the Demon King, and that to her that probably means that Shiki can actually help her pretty much track him down. So yeah, I think that that's probably what's going on. I can't say for sure, but that's pretty much the most logical explanation I can come up with, pretty much based on the fact that, yeah, she pretty much says that she's pretty much surpasses the Demon King, which, again, that one's a little bit of a stretch, but it all depends on what their past is like. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AnyList or Crunchyroll. That and that for me, signing off. Later, guys.